Elon Musk's mom has said many things in interviews, books, and conversations, but one message echoes louder than the rest, a message not polished by PR teams or softened by fear of judgment, but sculpted by a lifetime of surviving storms, setbacks, reinventions, and impossible odds. It is the message of a woman who raised her children with grit more than comfort, honesty more than flattery, and possibilities more than excuses. It is the message of a woman who never waited for life to treat her kindly before deciding to stand tall. It is the message of someone who has lived long enough to know a truth most people spend their whole lives running from, that greatness does not emerge from easy days or perfect conditions but from choosing, over and over again, to move forward anyway. Her message is not loud. It does not try to impress. It does not demand applause. It simply exists, quietly powerful, completely unshakable, like the kind of wisdom you only gain when you've been pushed off cliffs more than once and somehow taught yourself to fly on the way down. Her message is this: you do not need to be extraordinary to begin, but you do need to begin to become extraordinary. You do not need perfect timing, perfect support, perfect luck, or perfect belief from others. You need only the willingness to take the next step, no matter how small, no matter how uncertain, no matter how afraid you feel. You need only the courage to continue despite the growing list of reasons not to. This message came not from theory but from life, a life that began with adventure and danger in the African desert, a life built on working multiple jobs while raising children alone, a life shaped by starting over in different countries, different careers, different identities. A life that required, again and again, the courage to reinvent herself without waiting for permission. She raised her children the same way she raised herself, to think independently, to work hard, to be honest, to be curious, and above all, to never make excuses for why something cannot be done. When there wasn't money, there was resourcefulness. When there wasn't comfort, there was resilience. When there wasn't certainty, there was faith in the next step. And when there wasn't an easy path, she reminded them, gently, directly, firmly, to make their own. People look at Elon Musk and see a visionary, an icon, a disruptor, a genius. But behind his ambition is the echo of a simple philosophy he absorbed since childhood: if you want something, you work for it. If it scares you, that's even more reason to move toward it. If the world laughs, you keep going. If you fail, you learn. If you fall, you rise. And if the path doesn't exist, you build it. Her message to the world goes beyond entrepreneurship, beyond career, beyond public success. It is a message for the quiet moments where life feels too heavy, where the future looks too uncertain, where fear feels too loud, and where giving up seems too tempting. It is a message for the dreamer who doubts, the worker who's exhausted, the parent who's trying, the student who's lost, the creator who's discouraged. It is a message for anyone standing at the edge of something new, something difficult, something important, and whispering to themselves that maybe they are not ready. Her life refutes that whisper. Her life answers it simply: start anyway, because readiness is not something you wait for. It is something you grow into. Confidence is not something you magically acquire, it is something you earn through action. And the life you imagine is not built through wishing, it is built through choosing. Again and again, to take one more step, she raised her children with no shortcuts, no illusions, no overprotection. She taught them that life would not hand them greatness, but it would absolutely respond to persistence. She didn't tell them what to dream, she simply didn't limit them. When they were curious, she encouraged it. When they wanted to experiment, she let them. When they encountered obstacles, she didn't remove them. She allowed them to struggle, to figure things out, to fall and stand again. She did not shield them from life, she prepared them for it, and that preparation became the backbone of everything they built. But this message isn't about Elon Musk. It's about the power of a mindset you can adopt. A mindset that can shift your entire life if you allow it to. A mindset rooted not in fantasy, but in small daily choices that shape a bigger destiny. You may not control where you start, but you can control the direction you choose to walk. You can control how hard you work, how deeply you commit, how bravely you stand up again. You can control your attitude toward difficulty, your reaction to failure, your belief in your own ability to grow. You can control whether you shrink from fear or lean into it. You can control whether your life is shaped by excuses or by effort. Her message is not about becoming famous, rich, or legendary. It is about living with purpose, about refusing to let circumstances determine your potential. About believing that your future can be larger than your past. It is about refusing to settle, refusing to wait for perfect conditions, refusing to let anyone else, not society, not fear, not failure, define the boundaries of your ambition. If you listen closely to the story of her life, you hear a rhythm: work, learn, persist, adapt. She did not dwell on obstacles. She did not complain about difficulties. She did not chase perfection. She focused on what she could do next. And that next step is exactly what so many people forget to take. They think too long, fear too much, wait too often, and stall their own progress. You don't have to be fearless to move. You just have to move despite the fear. And this is where her message becomes deeply personal. You don't need permission to change your life. You don't need approval to pursue a dream. You don't need certainty to take a risk. You don't need support to begin. You don't need perfect circumstances to rise. What you need is belief, not blind belief, but the kind that grows each time you ask yourself one simple question: what can I do right now? Right now. Not someday. Not next year. Not when you feel ready. Not when people understand you. Not when the conditions are perfect. Right now, life rewards those who act. It shapes itself around the bold, the persistent, the ones who refuse to back down from their own potential. And it whispers possibilities to those who choose not to silence their dreams. She reminds you, through her life and her choices, that it is never too late to try something new. She became a model again when most people slow down. She launched new ventures when many retire. She traveled, she learned, she evolved, she kept moving. She showed that age is not a stop sign, that beginnings are not reserved for the young, and that reinvention is always an option. You do not run out of chances. You only run out of courage, but courage is renewable. Courage is a choice you make each morning. Courage is built through small victories, the ones no one sees. The mornings you get up when you don't want to. The hours you work when no one notices. The discipline you keep when no one applauds. The progress you make when no one encourages you. Every step you take silently shapes the person you are becoming. Her message to you is not one of instant success. It is one of steady transformation. It is the message that your life can expand in ways you cannot predict once you stop holding yourself back. It is the message that your dreams are not too big, but your fears are too loud. It is the message that your excuses are stealing more from you than failure ever could. It is the message that you become unstoppable not when everything is easy but when you decide not to quit. Some of the most successful people in the world were not extraordinary children. They were ordinary human beings raised with belief, discipline, curiosity, and resilience. They were taught to think for themselves, to question limitations, to embrace discomfort, to chase curiosity even when it looked impractical. This is what she taught her children. And this is what you can teach yourself. You do not need someone to raise you this way. You can raise yourself. You can choose habits that build you instead of break you. You can choose thoughts that strengthen you instead of weaken you. You can choose actions that move you forward instead of hold you back. You can choose to reframe every challenge as preparation, every failure as direction, every obstacle as resistance training for the life you are trying to build. Her life proves that success is not a straight line but a pattern of persistence. There were times she had no money. Times she worked multiple jobs. Times she started from the bottom in new countries. Times she struggled alone. Yet she never allowed hardship to turn her into a victim. She let it turn her into a fighter, and that is what she asks of you, not perfection, not brilliance, not limitless potential, just fight. Fight for your dreams. Fight for your growth. Fight for your future. Fight for the life you know you are capable of living. Fight even when the world doubts you. Fight even when you doubt yourself, because doubt is temporary. Regret is permanent. Whatever you want, a new career, a business, a better body, a stronger mind, a healthier emotional life, a new skill, a bold dream, you deserve to pursue it. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to become someone you are proud of. You deserve to challenge the limits you inherited. You deserve to evolve beyond the expectations that were handed to you. You are not defined by where you started. You are defined by what you choose next. And the next choice is yours. Take the step or stay where you are. Both decisions have consequences. One grows you. One confines you. One expands your world. One shrinks it. One leads to possibility. One leads to regret. Most people live in the cage of maybe later. She lived in the liberation of begin now. Her message is not meant to overwhelm you but to empower you. It is not about becoming someone else, it is about becoming more yourself. It is about shedding the layers of fear and doubt that have accumulated over the years. It is about returning to the version of you that once believed anything was possible. You were not born afraid. You learned fear. And what is learned can be unlearned. Her message carries the energy of a lifetime of resilience, the kind that does not shout but speaks with quiet conviction. You are stronger than your excuses, braver than your doubts, and more capable than you give yourself credit for. Take one step. Then another. Keep going. Life will meet you halfway. You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to begin, and if you do, if you commit, if you persist, if you refuse to quit, one day people will look at your life and assume you were always destined for greatness. But you will know the truth. You built it, one small courageous choice at a time. That is the power of her message. That is the potential inside you. And that is the life waiting for you the moment you decide that your future matters more than your fear. And so, as her story reaches you now, across continents, across generations, across different battles and different dreams, you must understand one thing clearly: wisdom does not age, and courage does not expire. The world will always change, challenges will always rise, and circumstances will always shift, but the principles she lived by remain unshakably true. They are the kind of principles that build a life worth living, a legacy worth leaving, and a future worth fighting for. The final and most powerful truth she offers you is this: your life becomes what you repeatedly choose, not what you occasionally wish for. If you want transformation, choose it daily. If you want success, show up consistently. If you want purpose, commit to it fully. If you want change, create it bravely. Every moment is a decision point, and your future is quietly shaped in the ordinary hours where no one is watching. She reminds you that dreams do not respond to hesitation, they respond to action. Talent does not grow in comfort, it grows in discipline. And destiny is not something you discover, it is something you build piece by piece through effort, honesty, perseverance, and an unbreakable belief that you are capable of more. You will have days when you doubt yourself. You will have moments where you question everything. You will face nights where it feels like you're moving in darkness with no guarantee of light. But progress does not always announce itself. Growth is often silent. Breakthroughs often come disguised as struggle. And strength is often born in the exact moments you think you have none left. This is when her message matters most. When you think you cannot go further, take one more step. When your mind screams that you are not ready, begin anyway. When fear tells you to go back, move forward. And when the world underestimates you, rise so quietly, so steadily, so unshakably that one day they can no longer deny who you've become. Your story is still being written. Your next chapter is untouched. Your potential is not even close to exhausted. You are not finished, you are only beginning. She has lived long enough to know a simple truth about people who change their lives. They are not the ones who wait, they are the ones who decide. Decide to grow. Decide to persist. Decide to reinvent. Decide to rise, and now it is your turn to decide. Decide that your future matters more than your excuses. Decide that your dreams deserve your effort. Decide that your courage deserves a chance. Decide that the world has not yet seen the best of you, because it hasn't. The best of you is still ahead, waiting in the space between who you are today and who you are capable of becoming tomorrow. And that space closes with every brave choice you make. Carry her message with you. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and never apologize for wanting a bigger life. That simple mindset shaped a family, shaped a destiny, and can shape your world too. You are powerful beyond what you believe. You are capable beyond what you imagine. You are deserving beyond what you accept. And your journey, no matter how difficult it feels right now, is leading you somewhere extraordinary, if you refuse to stop. So take a breath. Stand tall. Step forward. Your future is waiting, and it is brighter than you think, and as you walk into the future you're beginning to claim. Remember that the world does not reward the loudest dreamers, it rewards the ones who keep going long after the noise fades. You do not need applause to validate your purpose. You do not need permission to move toward what calls you. And you certainly do not need the world to understand you before you start. Most people will understand only after you've already succeeded, after your persistence becomes undeniable, after your quiet work turns into visible results. This is why her message carries so much weight. It teaches you to trust your journey before anyone else sees its value. To stand behind your own effort even when no one is watching. To build your foundation in silence so that your success can speak for itself. There is strength in this kind of self-belief, not arrogance, not ego, but a calm, steady understanding that you are capable of becoming someone you've never been before. You will meet people who doubt you, criticize you, misunderstand you, and even try to discourage you. Not because you are unworthy, but because your ambition reminds them of their own hesitation. Your courage highlights their excuses. Your movement exposes their inaction. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Do not dim your light to match their fear. You are not responsible for the dreams they chose not to chase. You are responsible only for the one life you've been given, and what a powerful truth that is, that your life is yours. Your direction is yours. Your potential is yours. Your possibilities are yours. That means your discipline matters, your choices matter, your habits matter, your persistence matters. The world may influence you, pressure you, distract you, even try to break you. But at the end of the day, it is your decision to rise that defines everything. This is why her philosophy is so liberating. It removes excuses, not because life is easy, but because power grows when you take responsibility for your own direction. When you stop waiting for rescue and start creating your own path. When you stop looking for signs and start becoming one. When you stop asking for opportunities and start building them. There will be mornings when you wake up with fire in your soul and evenings when you collapse from exhaustion. There will be seasons of progress and seasons of uncertainty. There will be days when you feel unstoppable and days when doubt whispers louder than ambition. All of this is part of the journey. All of it is normal. All of it is necessary. Do not mistake slow progress for failure. Do not confuse temporary difficulty with permanent defeat. Do not assume the struggle means you're on the wrong path. Often, it is the clearest sign you're on the right one. Growth does not happen in comfort. Growth happens in friction, in discomfort, in the moments when you're stretched beyond what you thought you could handle. These moments are where resilience is built, where strength is forged, where confidence is earned, where character is shaped, and when you look back one day, you will realize that the hardest chapters were the ones that gave you the most power. The nights you pushed through. The mornings you didn't give up. The decisions you made when no one knew how hard it was. These are the victories that truly define you. Her message, simple, honest, unwavering, becomes a reminder that your story is not written by luck or by chance but by courage and choice. And every time you choose to rise, you rewrite your future in a way that no obstacle can undo, so keep going. Keep believing. Keep building. Keep growing. Your journey is not meant to be easy, it is meant to be transformative, and transformation is always a beautiful, wild, powerful thing. And in the midst of all the challenges you face, the setbacks that seem insurmountable, the moments when doubt feels louder than determination, remember this: you are capable of more than you realize. The strength you need is already within you. The courage you seek has always been a part of you. The wisdom to make the right decisions is available every time you pause, reflect, and take the next step. Life is not a straight road, and the world rarely gives you clear directions. But it does respond to action, persistence, and belief. Every small choice you make, every risk you take, every time you push yourself just a little further than yesterday, you are building momentum that cannot be reversed. Every act of courage, no matter how quiet, plants seeds for the life you dream of. She taught her children, and she teaches all of us through her story, that waiting for permission, waiting for the perfect timing, waiting for certainty, is the easiest way to remain ordinary. Ordinary may feel safe, but safety is an illusion. True growth, true fulfillment, comes from stepping into the unknown, embracing discomfort, and refusing to let fear dictate your path. The truth is, the world will never be perfectly aligned with your dreams. Circumstances will not magically change. People may doubt you. Systems may resist you. The timing may never feel right. But you do not need perfect conditions to begin. You only need the decision to move forward. And once you make that decision, momentum will begin to build, and opportunities will start to appear where none existed before. Her message reminds you that your potential is limitless, but only if you refuse to stop exploring it. Talent alone does not create extraordinary outcomes. Opportunity alone does not create lasting success. Discipline, persistence, courage, and relentless effort, these are what shape remarkable lives. They are what transform ordinary beginnings into extraordinary destinations. Even when the path is unclear, even when progress is invisible, even when failure feels inevitable, keep going. The people who succeed are not those who avoid failure, but those who treat it as information, as a teacher, as a necessary step toward mastery. Every setback carries a lesson. Every obstacle offers a chance to grow. Every failure is a signal that you are stretching beyond your comfort zone, and growth never happens inside that zone. And so, her message is a call to action. Do not shrink in the face of fear. Do not excuse inaction because the journey is hard. Do not doubt your worth because the world has not yet recognized your effort. Every great life, every transformative success, every story worth telling is built on persistence, resilience, and the refusal to quit when the going gets tough. The next moment, the next choice, the next step, these are where your destiny is forged. Every time you move forward despite uncertainty, you are proving to yourself that nothing can stop you except the decisions you make. Every time you refuse to give up, you are building a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were yesterday. Her life, her philosophy, her message, they all converge into one powerful truth. You do not need anyone else to validate your dreams. You do not need perfect conditions to start. You do not need guarantees to move forward. You only need courage, persistence, and the choice to begin, and the moment you make that choice, everything changes. The world will continue to challenge you. Obstacles will appear. Fear will try to convince you to retreat. Doubt will whisper that you are not enough. But every step you take in defiance of those voices strengthens you. Every action you take despite fear grows your confidence. Every day you persist, you move closer to the life you were meant to create, so take a deep breath. Stand tall. Keep moving. Let her message guide you. Let her example inspire you. Let her courage remind you that greatness is not reserved for the few, it is available to anyone willing to show up, take responsibility, and keep going, even when the path is hard and the world seems silent. The life you imagine is not out of reach. It is waiting for you to claim it. And the only thing standing between you and that life is the courage to begin and the persistence to continue. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for certainty. Do not wait for someone to notice. Begin where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. The rest will follow, And when you look back one day, you will realize that the journey, with all its challenges and triumphs, was not about reaching the destination alone. It was about discovering the strength, resilience, and greatness that had always been within you. You are capable. You are ready. You are enough, and now, as you stand at this moment, at the edge of possibility, at the threshold of your next choice, remember her most powerful truth: life does not reward hesitation, fear, or waiting. It responds to action, courage, and persistence. Every step you take, no matter how small, carries the potential to reshape your world. Every decision to rise when you fall, to continue when you doubt, to create when the world resists, brings you closer to a life you once only imagined. You are the architect of your destiny. No one else can build it for you. No one else can carry your vision. No one else can walk the path you were meant to walk. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every moment you choose to push forward, is proof that you are capable of extraordinary things. Her message is simple, yet profound: you already have what it takes. You just need to believe it, act on it, and never stop. Do not wait for the perfect moment, it does not exist. Do not wait for certainty, it will never be guaranteed. Do not wait for permission, you already have it from the only person who matters, yourself. The life you dream of is waiting. The strength you seek is inside you. The courage you need grows every time you take one more step forward. And the world will open to you not because it owes you, but because you refuse to let fear, doubt, or circumstance define your limits. So rise now. Move now. Begin again, no matter how many times you have paused or fallen before. Take your dreams seriously, fight for them relentlessly, and honor the potential that has always existed within you. Let her example, her wisdom, and her life story remind you that greatness is not reserved for the lucky or the chosen. It is reserved for those who refuse to quit, those who choose courage over comfort, and those who move forward when everything inside them whispers stop. This is your moment. This is your life. This is your choice. Step into it fully. Step into it bravely. Step into it with the knowledge that you are stronger, wiser, and more capable than you have ever allowed yourself to believe. And when you do, the world will see not just what you have built, but who you have become: unstoppable, resilient, and extraordinary in ways even you could not have imagined. Begin. Persist. Rise, your future is waiting. And it will be magnificent.